Welcome to the DragonRiderPodcast. My name is Mapaya and I am here to help fellow energy healers to stand deeper into their sovereign power through energetic surgery, inner dragon training, and magical child coaching. In this podcast, we talk about all the things from the energy world, trauma healing, archetypes, inner sabotaging dragon patterns, so that you learn how to fly while you play here on Earth together. Hello and welcome to the first episode of the Dragon Rider Podcast. I'm so happy you're here. I've been wanting to do a podcast for ages and I'm so excited that I'm recording the first episode here. So as you have heard from my theatrical intro, my name is Mapaya and I'm from Holland, which is a very small country in Europe. Maybe you've heard of Amsterdam. That's our main city. And I wanted to start this podcast to bring energy workers and healers and intuitives and people who are interested in spirituality together to unblock energetic blocks on self-expression, creativity, flow, so that we can play and co-create together and help shifting the earth to a higher frequency, as we energy workers and healers are super important right now and we've got so much work to do. I'm so excited to start this podcast. So, yay! Today I want to share a little story of how we can suppress certain aspects of ourselves that block our energetic creative flow. So if you feel you're stuck with your self-expression or with your creativity, or with, if you feel like there's something inside of you, like this fire inside of you that wants to explode out of you, and it's like birthing this amazing creation, but it's like it's not getting out of there, and it's like stuck. If you get what I mean, then this episode I want to share how we can suppress certain aspects of ourselves that keep us stuck and blocked in our expression and in our creativity. And also, as healers and energy workers, we are awakening into ancient technology, right? It's like we are waking up to suppressed parts within our psyche that have always been there, but have been suppressed by society and culture and family and ancestral wounds. And when we do healing work, when we do trauma healing, and we unlock these suppressed parts of us, we receive gifts, we receive spiritual gifts, we receive creative talents that we can use to heal ourselves and heal others and really help, helping yourself with standing in your power, others standing in their power. And I believe it's so important that we co-create this, because obviously where the world is at now is kind of like a dead end, and we need to shift out of these old systems into a new one. And we're going to need a lot of creativity to be able to do that. And as well as that, we have all these ancient technology of energy healing and spiritual technology that we are waking up to. We've also got certain archetypes in our system that we sometimes suppress. And so today I want to share a little story of how I found an archetype in my system that was totally suppressed and completely blocked my energetic flow, even though I didn't realize that because I had so many other creative channels as well. But it completely blocked my whole career really. And so I just want to share how this works and how this can work for you too, and how you can, if you feel so stuck, maybe, dig in and find some suppressed archetypes that are within you so that you can free them up and stand in your self-expression and deeper into your power. So let's start the story. So what happened to me was I finished my art school in 2011 and I became like an artist in the system, searching for customers and clients to work for and work with. And after a few years, I got really stuck. I was like, I'm not going into a direction that I feel I want to dive deeper into. I felt really, really stuck and I didn't know what to do, where to go. And so I asked myself, what am I supposed to do with my talents? And little did I know that, because I was still asleep and didn't understand how I was a powerful creator as a human being, so I manifested this whole like spiritual like smack going into the underground, like Saturn return, pom pom pom. And I went like really deep into the underground, going through like some like super dark years, and really had to climb my way through the light again. And I'm not going too much in there right now for this story, but I might do that in some other episodes. So, because what was happening is that I was being initiated as an energy surgeon, which whatever, I didn't even know what energy was. I didn't I had no spiritual people around me at all. So along my journey, like, I started traveling the world seeking for answers, and after a few years in, I found the work of Myss. And Myss works with archetypes. So I started reading her book, Sacred Contracts. Maybe you're familiar with it. And in Sacred Contracts, Myss writes about how we've got 4 survival archetypes that every human has, and 8 like soul archetypes. And an archetype really is a mother, a clown, an actor, a artist, a poet, a musician, a cook, or a writer, or like whatever like archetypes that we have are like certain stereotypes, and from that stereotype there's like a certain wiring in your system with beliefs and actions and patterns connected to these beliefs that create that archetype. So we've got soul archetypes like the artist, or the dancer, or the performer, or the clown, or the mathematician, or the wizard, the sorcerer, the healer, the wounded healer. There are like endless amounts of archetypes, but I hope you get the point. And then we've also got survival archetypes, and Myss says we've got 4, which is like the victim, the prostitute selling our soul, or the saboteur sabotaging ourselves, and the inner child, the wounded child. And Carolyn Myss has also an amazing friend, and his name is Robert Ohotto. And this guy is like brilliant, amazing. And he goes really, really deep into the survival archetypes, the child and the saboteur archetypes, prostitute archetypes. And he just mapped it out in super detailed. So I've been working with Robert Ohotto and Carolyn Myss for a few years. And that really brought me into my own inner journey of working with these saboteur archetypes. And I just had such a hard time with it that and I felt like this dragon energy connected to it. And I was like, okay, wow. I don't call these survival archetypes. I call them dragons, and not like the beautiful light dragons that help us, getting into higher frequencies, but like shadow dragons, like saboteur dragons. And so what I also mean with dragon training or becoming a dragon rider is actually working with the saboteur archetype, but going deeper into this material, because the saboteur archetype, when we sabotage ourselves, when we dive deeper into that, then we see there are like dragon-like archetypes in this realm. For example, the perfectionist is a huge sabotaging dragon, because the perfectionist keeps you from creating something, because if it's not perfect, why bother? Or someone else can do it more perfect than you, so why bother? Or you work like for ages on one project because it needs to be perfect, because it is actually, this dragon is actually protecting you from being shamed, being blamed, being judged, so that you feel safe. And so there are many more of these dragon-like archetypes, survival archetypes that are, and I call them dragons because they're like super deeply wired in our culture, like super deep, and they're and we can sometimes like really fight with these dragons, because we have dreams, we have desires, and we want it. And then we've got these dragons that are like sabotaging, like the shit out of you, and like, no, I don't want to sabotage. And then you're starting to fight with them, and it's like, chill the fuck out. Because in my world, we don't slay dragons, we don't fight them, but we tame them, we hug them, we tame, and we don't tame them with locking them up in cages and, hitting them with a whisk. No, we tame them by giving them hugs, giving them love, and listening to the dragons, looking at the dragons, what do they need, and from that place we tame them. So that's what I do in my dragon trainings. So I've just finished a 3-month program that was called Taming Perfectionella, which was all about taming the perfectionist dragon. So that about dragons and dragon training and archetypes. So this is what archetypes are. I'm going deeper into that in another episode. So I've got so much to share. Yay! Anyway, so I was reading Sacred Contracts of Carolyn Myss's book, where I got introduced to archetypes. And in the book there are like exercises to find like your own archetypes that are in your system. So I started doing these exercises, and I started, mapping out with my mind which archetypes I had. So you've got the 4 survival archetypes, and then 8 other archetypes. And I thought I figured it all out. I know exactly which archetypes I have. And then there was this exercise where I had to close all my chakras except for my crown chakra, and being guided by spirit to put these archetypes on a wheel. And I found that I wasn't allowed to put certain archetypes on one spot. Like one spot remained empty. And I thought like, well, I might have this archetype or that archetype. But none of them wanted to be on that spot. Until the actor archetype came along, and the actor archetype wanted to be on that spot. And I was like, the actor archetype? I don't want the actor archetype. Fuck that. I hate actors. And I was like, that's interesting. Why do I hate actresses? Like, what's going on here? And so I started digging, and I found that I was suppressing the actor archetype within me hugely because of trauma and beliefs that were connected to this trauma that said actors are liars. You can't trust actors. They're narcissistic. They're arrogant. They only want to be on stage because they want to have all the attention, and they're super narcissistic. And fuck that. Like actors are wrong. They're bad. They're dangerous. I had all these beliefs in my system, and I was like, whoa, okay, so let's dig a little bit deeper. Like, where did this start? Like, when did I got these beliefs? And I went back to my childhood, and I suddenly saw, like, whoa, when I was young, like 5 or 6 or 7 years old, I always gave shows to my parents, to my family, when after dinner. After dinner I started, getting from the table and started giving a show. And when we went on a holiday, I started giving a show to the people on the camping, or I even, organized like playback shows and stuff like that. And then I always be like, my parents were like, okay, let's put you on an artistic high school. And I went on this amazing high school where we had like dance lessons and art lessons and theater lessons. And I loved it. I loved the theater lessons. I loved all of it, and dancing and, painting and drawing. I loved all of it, and I especially loved the theater lessons. I had so much fun. And then something happened in our family, and I didn't realize I was so traumatized by that. And I started having beliefs around actors, and it was like not only this traumatic experience that happened, but also just cultural programming from my ancestors, from like my mother line, and beliefs that they hold, and then also my insecurities and not wanting to have a competition with other actors, all these different point of views, all these different wirings, all these different beliefs and painful things, when they all created this whole like web that just pushed out this archetype so out of my system. So no, I don't have this archetype at all. Like, I was totally blind from it, even though from the outside people, like, everyone knows that Mapaya is a super theatrical person, because I was always wearing these poofy dresses with like ribbons and lace that I made myself because I love them, and I didn't care about what other people thought. So I wore these dresses like every day, like daily, just in public. And so I had all these theater aspects of me, but I didn't, like, I had no awareness like on it, that it was part of my, career and journey. And also, it's not like that I'm now an actress and I'm going to act in movies, or not at all, because, it's not the only archetype I have. I also have the healer. I'm an energy surgeon. Like, I'm an artist as well. Like, I've got all these different archetypes, all these different soul archetypes, and they work together. And when they work together, that's when you see like, oh, this is my path. This is what I'm here to do. I'm wired this way to combine these soul archetypes together so that I can stand in my power and have this authentic journey of sharing my gifts with the world, and this is what I have to do. So I just unlocked all this, and I started healing the trauma and the pain, and I started dissolving these beliefs, and this way, together with the dragon training, together with taming Perfectionella, I started opening up to the actor archetype, and now I'm slowly starting to express myself in this way. So I found Instagram to be a great platform for me. I use Reels to make like short little theater videos where I share my insights on a funny way, and I'm having so much fun, and it's so great, and I feel so free. It's like, oh, finally, it was so blocked, it was so suppressed by all these beliefs and all the pain and all this whole web of things that was suppressing this archetype. So if you want to look in your system as well, find the archetypes or like the things that you did when you were young. Like, find what did you do when you were a child? What did you play with? What got you excited? And I know this is harder for some than others, because like I had the privilege that my parents were like, oh, she likes theater, let's put her and art, let's put her on a creative school. Other parents, of course, they suppress it immediately, and then it's harder to find. So I understand that. And also I can really recommend Sacred Contracts to find your soul archetypes. But really what you do is look at your childhood, find the patterns of what you did, what you played with, what you loved playing with. And from there you also, so that's one exercise. And the other exercise is, which stereotype or archetype do you really hate, or do you really judge? Because that what you judge or really hate or like have so much resistance on, there's something there. And then you can dive deeper into that, unpack the beliefs and the traumas that are into that, heal it, nurture it, love it, and open up in it, like dissolve these beliefs, do belief work, and then these archetypes, they come, you integrate them, and they become part of you, and this is how you bring back suppressed parts of you. And then you can use all the gifts and all the freedom and that you get from it, and flow more into your creative expression and your self-expression. And fucking play and have fun and flow and fly and yay! I hope you had so much value out of this. So there are 2 exercises. One is look what you played with as a child that you love doing, and the other one is which archetype or stereotype do you really judge and hate, because there's something there. Unpack it, bring them together, and that's where you can find where you are suppressing some parts of you that block your creative flow and your self-expression. Yay! So have a beautiful day or evening, and maybe until next time. Mwah!